Okay, my friends, here it is. The video you have all been asking for on ElectroCulture. So here it is. Now, I have spent the last several weeks researching extensively this ElectroCulture craze, phenomenon that is happening right now in the gardening world. And in this video, I'm going to, one, show you how to make these copper coils, these antennas. Two, I'm going to show you where the experimentation is taking place. And three, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. All right, so let us get into it. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with ElectroCulture, I'm just going to briefly explain what it is. And for that, I'm going to go to the website, which is like, there's one main guy that is sort of like the face of ElectroCulture. He's kind of a younger guy. I'm not going to say his name or anything right now for reasons which I'm going to tell you as we go on. But here it is. What is ElectroCulture? And I'm reading right from his website. What is ElectroCulture? ElectroCulture is an ancient practice of increasing yields utilizing certain materials to harvest the Earth's atmospheric energy. It was presented in 1794, 1920, 1940s by Victor Schauberger. This energy is always present and all around us, also known as chi, prana, life force, and ether. So let us evaluate that real quick. Okay, there are elements of truth to this for sure. Already I can see. So there is the energy all around us that is always present. We live in an electromagnetic world in a way that everything is charged with a electrical charge. Everything that we look at, the ions in this, the molecules, if there was not an electrical charge to hold things together and to arrange it in a certain way, then the whole thing would just dissolve and evaporate. The atoms wouldn't be able to hold together. Also, yes, so far the statement checks out that this energy is all around us. The life force, the force that makes your heart beat, the force that makes the sun shine, that makes the trees grow and the birds sing, all of this is the life force, and it is always around us all the time. Now let us move on to the next thing. He says, when using ElectroCulture, there is no need for the use of pesticides, manure, or fertilizers. That is a very, very bold claim, okay? So right away, my sensors are going, whoa, okay. That is not congruent with any of my knowledge. But we are going to experiment this year so that we will know for sure. By the end of this season, we will know beyond any shadow of a doubt if ElectroCulture either is effective or not. And if it turns out to be effective, I can tell you, it will be the most significant discovery in agriculture ever. More significant than the plow, more significant than anything. If you don't need to, and then he goes on to say, when adding these atmospheric antennae to your garden, soil, or farm, they will amplify your yields, combat frost and excessive heat, reduce irrigation, reduce pests, and increase the magnetism of your soil, leading to more nutrients in the long run. If they can do that without any fertilization, reducing water, and without any type of pesticides, natural or non-natural, manures, any of that, that is the most significant discovery in the history of agriculture. Because that would mean that for thousands of years, human beings have been toiling needlessly with the plow and with spreading manures and with learning about the natural cycle of things and the soil food web. Then all of that would be completely not essential whatsoever. That would be thousands of years and millions of man hours wasted when all they needed to do was stick some copper wires into the ground. So we will see. We are going to test this thoroughly because I need to know if this is true or not, because there's so much, it's like exploding right now in the gardening world, the ElectroCulture thing. And so I am always open to new information, my friends. I am absolutely a scientist at heart in that way. I will set up experimentations and objectively observe the results. And if I find something that is new, effective information, I will be the very first to say, wow, this is mind-blowing. It is actually working, okay? So I have no problem with acquiring that as new knowledge. Okay, and finally, I'm going to read the last part where he says, how does the ElectroCulture antenna work? The antenna harvests the energy of the Earth through the series of vibration and frequency, such as rain, wind, and temperature fluctuations. These antennas lead to stronger plants, more moisture for the soil, and reduced pest infestation. This is one of many reasons we have not been taught about this ancient practice. Okay, so I see that there's a lot of elements of truth within this, okay? Talking about harnessing atmospheric energy. Now, here are my thoughts, okay? My immediate thoughts that without experimentation or anything yet, is that one, the plants are already doing this. That is exactly what he's described is a plant. The plant harnesses the atmospheric energy, which is the atmosphere has a positive charge. We know this, but based upon scientific instruments and things. And the earth has a negative charge. And so the plant is already the most perfect antenna you could get. It's already charging the life in the soil. And so I feel like this is a very human kind of thing to where, which is what got us in this mess of industrialized agriculture, is the human mind thinking that they can somehow rearrange nature and improve on nature. But my friends, you cannot improve on perfection. Nature has already perfected all of this. So if a copper wire in the ground would have made everything grow better, then that's what nature would have somehow done. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, here's another observation, and this is why this experiment is going to put it to rest at the end of the season, because I grew for many seasons in Northern California, where I was the head grower of a large grow. And so I was every day inside those greenhouses looking and feeling and just being with I knew every plant individually, thousands of plants. I spent so much time watching them because this is like really high stakes gardening. Failure's not an option when I was growing there, okay? So you had to always make it work. And so I would spend so much time just observing the plants, and then I would adjust things in their nutrient regimen, the watering regimen, the lights and all. I would adjust things and observe. And so after so many years of this, I'm to the point where I can read the plants very readily. It just flows. I can sense what the plant, I can see its health status and things like that. And so that's how I'll be able to tell if this is effective or not. Almost immediately I'll be able to tell in the plants what I'm reading from them. Now, this is also another reason, because of my experience in Northern California, growing there, if there was something that we could have done to get even 1 more pound of yield, you can guarantee every single one of us would have been doing it. Yet, not a single person was doing electroculture. I never saw it. I never heard of it. And Northern California in the 2000s, it was like the hub of the whole world as far as cutting edge growing techniques. Okay. And nobody was doing electroculture. So, and another thing, he's talking about repressed information, that this is repressed. Guys, there is so much information repressed, kept from the population, of course. But I have to say that if there's a video on YouTube about it that is 12 years old, which there is, then it's not suppressed, guys. If the information is on YouTube or on the internet in general, it's not hidden from us. It's not kept. So these are my initial thoughts. But we are going to see for sure. So let us go out. Well, first, let me show you how to make some of these, and then let us go out into the garden and I'll show you the experiments. Okay, so according to the guy's website who sells these things, we need to make them as such, about 3 feet long, and this is 8-gauge wire. So we take a 3-foot section of 8-gauge wire, and then we are going to wrap it clockwise if we live in the northern hemisphere. This is right off the website. So you need to hold it in place and then wrap it about 4 times clockwise, which if you hold it in your left hand, that would be forward and down. And then we're going to make it go straight again so that we have something like this. Now on the end that's going to be exposed to the air, we want to bend it down like this. And now we are going to take our antenna and stick it into this pot of rosemary. The only difference between these 4 rosemary plants is that antenna. Likewise, I got 15 bags of potatoes. So we're going to stick one there. I'm going to come down here and stick another one. The only difference is the copper wire. And then down here, we have 2 30-gallon grow bags of potatoes. Only difference is the copper wire. If you want to get those grow bags, link in the description. So here we are out front and in the marigold and in the petunias, because I like to keep it flowery out front, and then in the pepper in the back. And these are going to be the experiments, my friends. Okay, so you get the idea. Lots of different experiments all done in the same way, where the only difference is the copper wire. The soil's all the same. I already added all the fertility. Everything is all the same except the copper wire. So we shall see, my friend. Let me know in the comments what other kind of experiments you would like to see. I'm going to go to a couple of the different garden plots and make some bigger antennas so that we can experiment there. Let me know in the comments what your experience has been, or what kind of, if I need to do something different with the experiment. So give the video a thumbs up, share it with anyone who has this same question, and I will see you guys 12 noon Saturday live stream.